All right, we're down to the last question of the day. Let me grab a drink of water. This is hot water. I love it. Helps to reduce swelling, keeps everything hydrated. So a student recently emailed me, very confused. He wanted to know what is head voice, what's chest voice, falsetto, mixed voice, where do I need to hold the larynx? What about the tongue? One teacher says this, one teacher says that. Well, I do understand that different teachers apply terminology in different ways, and a lot of people even have new terminology to help the singer better understand, with their methodology. When I grew up, I heard a chest voice was that, your natural voice, and if you try to bring it too high, you're pulling chest. And your head voice was like that, which in essence really is your falsetto. So for me, as far as raise your voice, I try not to use those terms. But when they do come up, chest voice and head voice are more places to me. Low voice, high voice. I'd prefer to say your low range, your middle range, your high range. So also, falsetto, we explained it earlier with do girls have falsetto. Your falsetto is just when the chords are open, the glottis is wider. And the sounds like this. So the crazy thing is, you can bring your falsetto way low. Yeah. And you can bring your head voice high. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't get so caught up in those terms. And mixed voice is that thing, and if you've read Raise Your Voice, you've seen my scale for falsetto, your mixture, and your full voice. But a lot of coaches will do like they'll kind of mix your real voice, your full voice, so you're not pulling and feeling so big and beefy, and that falsetto, so it kind of sounds mixed, and it's great for a lot of pop singers. Jeff Buckley, love the guy. He used that a lot, kind of a mixture. Then he would go into falsetto, then he would just well in full voice. So there's nothing wrong with it. Mixing the two, blending the two together with that middle voice, that mixed voice, that blend voice. But in essence, it's just a collaring. Don't get caught up in it. Focus mainly on strengthening the voice and making it all one voice from the bottom to the top. And when you hit that break point, we want to eliminate it. We want to smooth it out. So when you're switching gears, it's so smooth you don't even know it's there. Nothing special you have to do except strengthen the muscles. Then if you want to sing in falsetto, or if you want to kind of blend it, or you want to just well in full voice, you can do it. Now with that said, where does the larynx come into play? Well, for me, I generally take the general approach where it's kind of neutral, but I do understand it'll rise a little bit, drop a little bit, depending on your range. Sometimes it wants to rise a little bit as you sing higher, drop a little bit as you go lower. But the problem comes is when you try to hit a high note and you're going, ah! And you're raising it like you're swallowing. That tightens everything up. Or when you're thinking down low, and you think you got to drop the larynx down to get that low note. That's not the way to approach it. The better way is to strengthen the muscles so the larynx can do its job on its own. You're not controlling it. That brings us to the tongue. That can cause trouble too. A really raised tongue can block off that vocal path. I had the problem for years, and I had to do crazy exercises like reaching the root of the tongue and pulling out the stress like this. And pulling out all that stress until I learned to make that muscle, that tongue, just relax and drop out of my way when I'm singing a note. So these are just little things you got to work on. All in all, it all boils around muscle building, forgetting so much about the terminology, focusing on sensation and correct vocal technique. Breathe, support, feel that voice in the roof of your mouth. Let it move around. Feel that resonance buzz like crazy. That's the secret. It's not the secret thinking, am I in head voice? Am I in chest voice? Am I in falsetto? That's just going to make you mental. Just sing. Does it sound cool? Then it's cool. That's the main thing. Don't get so caught up in terminology. Learn it. It's great to learn terminology. But in the end, focus on singing. Practice your exercises, your songs, and you'll do great. And now, if you do want to know a little more about terminology, it's in my products, and you can learn a lot more at buildabettervoice.com/YouTube.